Hey guys, Do Tech Lifestyle here, back with another video. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a very great, a wonderful time. It's now time to prepare for 2024. They're telegraphing what they're going to do. You need to think about how you're going to protect yourself in the new year and what you don't want to manifest in your life. What I'm trying to say is be prepared for anything, because they're telegraphing it. They've done it with the Leave the World Behind video, movie on Netflix, all of that. It's all scare tactics. It's entirely up to you if you want to live in fear. I don't want to live in fear, and I will not live in fear. Okay? I want to live in a world where everybody can be have a choice of whether they want to be prosperous or not. The world is moving in two directions: one of fear and one of joy. It's up to you which side you want to be on. Do you want to be on the side of fear, or do you want to be on the side of joy? Do you want to be on the side of love? Do you want to be on the side of hate? Do you want to be on the side of caring or uncaring? Do you want to be on the side of death or life? What do you want? You need to make a choice. Yeah? It's up to you now. People are going to be left behind. The world is fractured. We're in a place where there are so many wars taking place, so many things shaping up around that, so many scare stories, and literally anything could happen. They could bring the banking system down and then replace it overnight. Right? And I think that is exactly what we're going through. So they're telegraphing what they are going to do, certainly in certain aspects of what I see happening. Also, what happened in the last 4 years was all planned. So wake up, okay? Take care. Have a great day. I just want to come on and say that. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. Do Tech Lifestyle. By the way, this video's got swearing in it. I didn't swear in it, but you're going to hear some swearing in it. And so I'm not going to be for kids, alright? Just a warning. Okay, take care. Bye.
Well, mine's a little dark. I just feel a lot of concern that 2024 may be the year of a black swan event. This is a national security event with high impact that's very hard to predict. There are a number of concerns that I have that factor into that. Not only this sort of enduring heightened threat level that we're facing, the wars in Israel, also Ukraine. And we're so divided in this country in ways that we haven't seen before. And I think that just creates fertile ground for our adversaries like North Korea, China, and Iran. And that's what concerns me most.
They don't want us moving around.
They don't want us independent. That's the key. They don't want us to understand the reality of the fact that we are sovereign beings. And the horrible part about it is that most people don't remember that they are. That's what this whole thing has kind of like jolted some people out of, which is the mixed blessing of it all. It's like there are a lot of people now who have been like slapped into reality, who now understand that, oh shit, right, I'm in charge of this. Nobody has the right to limit my movement. That's a bullshit concept. Think about that. I mean, you actually have to convince some people and have a conversation with some people about the fact that no one can restrict your movement. That's not a thing. You're born, if you drop out of your mom into the snow or whatever, if you're not born in a hospital and your umbilical cord gets snipped, and I'm exaggerating, but like you're a free entity. You're a sovereign soul being, whatever, when you come into this world.
You had mayors, despicable, disgusting. They're not human, they're disgusting. And they should be held accountable, all of them. Every single last one of them. Every mayor, every governor that shamed you, terrorized you, tore your family apart, made you lose your job, divided everybody. That was the most disgusting display of humanity. And these are the people that are controlling my life and your life, that they're taking my money from and doing whatever they want with it. I don't have a choice where my taxes go. That time, that's how I saw it. I saw it as a complete takeover. And in my own house, these kids are all indoctrinated. So the kids are like, Dad's crazy. Mm-hmm. Hey man, your father's putting up, and I saw what they were going through. I had nieces You know, I had my daughter come up to me, and a niece that I love said, Dad, is everything cool? Because everyone thinks you're making wacky videos. I felt we're at war. 100%. This is war, however you want to describe it. It's a war on your common sense. It's a war on the control of your life. It's the war on your spirituality. It's the war of your conscience and your mind. And it's not a game. It's real. Unfortunately, humanity doesn't believe that evil exists. And boy, does it exist.
Does.
And you'll be horrified when you realize where they're all located. And I'm not sure some people can handle that. But I think the ones that can are very ready. Very ready. They're done.
Let's bring in Fox News contributor Dr. Mark Siegel. Dr. Mark, it's great to have you on. The Hill writes the following: this is bigger than COVID. Why are so many Americans dying early? It goes on to say life insurers have been consistently sounding the alarm over these unexpected or excess deaths, which claimed 158,000 more Americans in the first 9 months of 2023 than in the same period 2019. That exceeds America's combined losses from every war since Vietnam. Mortality up 26%, Dr. Mark, among 35 to 44-year-olds, up 19% among 25 to 34-year-olds. What in the world is going on?
And I want to add to that before I answer it. By the way, great report by Kevin Corke. Both of us read our heads off tonight. We're doing much worse than Europe. We lost, during the heart of the pandemic, about 1 million more excess deaths per year than Europe did. And now after the pandemic, same thing. Why are they doing better than us? We have a very high standard of living here. It's also cutting trace across all socioeconomic groups. It's not just poor people. It's not just socioeconomically disadvantaged. It's everyone. Now, I had a good conversation with you before I came on. I mentioned obesity. You made a great point. You said, look, that rate hasn't gone up. So I would say part of it, at least, is the long-term effects of obesity. It leads to high blood pressure. And during the shutdowns and the lockdowns, people didn't get medical care, and they got anxious, and they got depressed. There was more suicide. All of that is continuing. All of the anxiety is continuing. Stress-related diseases are up. Drug abuse is still up. Alcohol is up. COVID itself may have long-term effects. That could be it in terms of on the heart, lungs, kidney. But the vaccine, which definitely saved lives, nobody's studying what the long-term effects of the vaccine are here. That's also an elephant in the room. All of that has to be looked at. You can't just say, well, it's smoking, well, it's this, it's that. We need a careful examination of why this is happening. Terrible trend.
There are these nexus charts where you can map out words in major publications. I'm not talking about mom and pop news outlets. I'm talking about the New York Times, the Washington Post, like the big dogs. Go track how many times the word racism was mentioned. And around 2012, it shoots up. Social justice shoots up. Transgenderism shoots up. White privilege shoots up. This was forced on the American people. Why are we having these conversations now? No, the people did not wake up one day and decide we want to have a national conversation about chicks with dicks. That didn't happen. This wasn't an organic movement. It was all of the most powerful people decided this is what we're going to talk about. And why was that? Because it's the perfect, look, when you're failing on policy, you pivot to a culture war. You pit people against each other, so they're fighting each other. We had in this country, we had an Occupy Wall Street movement where leftists were standing outside of big banks screaming, we are the 99%. Right-wingers had a populist movement called the Tea Party, where they were outraged about the bailouts of big banks, unsustainable debt, government spending. They don't like that. That's not what the powers that be like. You're getting too close. Look, they like you fighting about issues like abortion. Now, I'm not saying abortion isn't a very important issue. It's a very important issue. But us fighting about that issue doesn't scare anyone at the Federal Reserve. It doesn't scare anyone in the CIA. They don't care if you fight about that issue. They love you fighting over transgender bathrooms. They have no, and you can see this every day. They're stoking this culture war because they have to distract from the fact that they completely failed on everything else.